All right, hope y'all enjoyed those. So we're going to go on to the next one. This one should be a good one. I think a lot of you guys could be talking about them a little too early, right? But the Wolves, should they trade Karl Anthony Towns? I think Reese, we went with you first. So Freddie, let's go with you. Should they trade Karl Anthony Towns? Because I had them pegged as a 4th seed. I think we talked about that personally. And I think you also concurred on that. And they're not looking like a 4th seed. I want to stay there. They're looking like an 11, right? But now Karl Anthony Towns is out. And technically, they're on a win streak. 1. So, should they trade Karl Anthony Towns? But do you think so? Or is it too early to say, let's trade him? Because that's my answer personally. I think it's way too early to say, let's trade Karl Anthony Towns. What's your take, Freddie?
Yes, I absolutely think I'm tired of Karl Anthony Towns.
I promise you, I just got to say this and I'm going to let you get back. Nope. I feel like people from like New York and New Jersey do not like Karl Anthony Towns, dog. Like, I promise you, I think that's the thing.
I used to vouch for this guy.
I don't know.
That was very motivated by Patrick Beverly and having to put a battery in his back, turn him into the fake, you know what I'm saying, back. But I don't hate Cat. I thought he was a great draft pick. He didn't have those superstar numbers in college, but you can see what he's able to do. Like, I used to like him, but man, I don't like him anymore, man. I'm tired of him, man.
Tired is so strong. Why are you tired of him? Why are you mainly tired of him?
Because you shouldn't have to, a guy with his talent, you shouldn't have to motivate your superstar player to go out there and dominate every trip, right? We used to see stretches of AD like this after they won a championship. Injuries as well, but it's like, AD, just go out there and dominate. You can't. Cat can dominate any big guy in this league. I've seen him go right into Jared Allen's chest time after time, jump hook, jump hook, and kill, right? And Jared Allen's one of the best rim protectors in the league. I've seen him go at Anthony Davis. I've seen him go at all the great bigs in the league. Then I've seen him chill. Like, you shouldn't have to have a guy that's that size, with that shooting ability, with that physicality, with that skill. He should be putting up 28 and 12. He should be willing his team to win, bro. And he's not doing that. He should be Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
So I do know. The only time they won there is realistically when Jimmy Butler was there. And Jimmy Butler left because he was tired of these guys. You had him for 6 years.
So I do know. So look, I do know that he can be a little more dominant, right? He puts up good numbers, don't get me wrong, but it's not always about numbers. Like, you gotta come off dominant. Like, again, AD last season, quality stats, but was still called disinterested. So I do hear you on that, and that's why I think Anthony Edwards eventually will take over that role. But to say that you need to trade Karl Anthony Towns, like, and Reese, I'm gonna switch it over to you real quick. Just yes or no, do you feel like they should trade Cat right now?
I wouldn't trade him right now just because you just got Rudy Gobert.
Because I got Rudy Gobert.
Well, and I see that side too. And I definitely understand that, Freddie. And so I'll just say that the most you can give it with Rudy though is 2 years. So not including this year, I guess. So next year, and then that third season is the one you kind of have to make a decision going into the season. What I'm saying. So you use year and next year as the barometer, and then you have to make the decision to make the move. Because you're not going to move Anthony Edwards, obviously. So then you have D'Angelo Russell.
Contract.
And contracts, right? And so you got Rudy Gobert for 5 years because he had just signed that extension.
You have Rudy Gobert, who should be able to be a good interior presence. I want to see D'Lo, Cat, and Rudy, and Ant really just go at it, like really be aggressive on the offensive end. That's their trio has to dominate at least at a minimum. D'Lo need to give you 15. Cat and Ant need to give you like 20 to 25 a night, and preferably 25 because they have that capability. Again, that goes to what Freddie you were talking about. Cat can be like Cat's third best big in the league. I think we can say that, right? Is that fair?
No.
Like, I'm saying that because like Anthony Davis, I would put him there, but he can also be a power forward too, and he's also injury prone. Like when we talk about centers, we think Jokic, Embiid, Cat.
Centers.
Yeah, centers. And it's like there are times where I'm like, Cat could be the best big man. Like in a season from now, in like 2 seasons from now, he could be viewed as the best big man off of his potential, off of his talent. So he could get me 25 a night. And that's what they need to do in order to win. So if they can't do that, then I want to trade Cat and try to bring somebody else.
So, but Trey, to that, because I'm not sure if he's going to bounce back to being that 25 and 12 guy. Shouldn't you trade him now before his stock continues to plummet? And teams are like, I'm not paying that much money for him because his contract is hefty as hell. He's making like $50 million a year or something. Like, people will take that now, but if you wait a year and he's down averaging 18 and 9, people are going to be like, I'm not taking that. He's putting up weak numbers on a team that's underperforming. Like, to me, he has really been, it's safe to say, he's been what Kevin Love was to Minnesota, not Kevin Garnett.
So I guess, Freddie, to answer your question, and I hate to do it with a question, if I trade Cat, right, what am I getting back? Is that going to make me a contender? Like, that's the question I got to ask. So if Cat's stock plummets and I can't really bring anything realistic back to help my team out that's going to make me a contender, I'm going to keep him. Me trading him now, like, what's available out there that I can get for Cat to help my team win right now, this very second? I don't think anybody is going to, who's going to make that trade?
Yeah, so like you said, does he make you? I don't think he makes you a contender if you're in Minnesota. But again, if you trade him now, his stock is as high as I think it's going to be going forward. Trade him now, and you could almost get. Of course, you can't get an AD or Embiid or a Joker, but there's combinations out there. Like, I honestly, and granted, it would never happen because of Jimmy, but I would love to see him in Miami. You can bring Bam over there. I get it. You can say maybe not enough shooting. But I think Bam is the type of utility player whose offense keeps growing. And maybe, a combination of like Bam and, Miami has so many different pieces. Bring Vic off the bench, some draft picks or something along the lines of that. Or go out and get Atlanta has Capella, but a 4 that can stretch the floor, right? That isn't a high.
But that's nobody on Atlanta's team, though. John Collins doesn't fit that role. So it's like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, he doesn't fit that. He doesn't fit that stretch 4 role for me. I'm not trusting John Collins as. I'm not trusting John Collins as a 4. Okay, Reese, would you trust John Collins as your stretch 4?
No, and and I'll say too, I don't think, like, if you trade Karl Anthony Towns, you're not trading him to like continue to win. You're kind of starting to rebuild. You kind of like, I feel like that's what I feel like. Once you trade Cat, you basically said the Rudy Gobert trade was a failure because you had to have made the move to contend as early as possible. Like, I don't know, like Rudy Gobert,
But you also said too, you said it's too early until the trade deadline, so they could definitely turn the season around.
Right.
The second part of that move though is D'Angelo Russell is going to be out the door, so you free up cap space and you go out and get a player. I'm coming to play with Anthony Edwards if I'm a star, so you can go out there and get a player to bring in. You have Rudy, who, for whatever it's worth, bro, Rudy doesn't average 20 and 15 shoot threes, but he's a 15 and 13 guy, gives you a couple blocks, angers your defense. Like, we gotta give him his credit. They went out and traded for him for a reason. Like, you have Ant, you have Rudy, they got some other young guys there, McDaniel, so on and so forth. You move that D'Lo contract, use it to bring in another star, trade Cat. You really do something, get a new coach.
You still need a floor general out there, so you can't sleep on D'Lo. Like, so here's my thing.
Yeah, no.
I like D'Lo personally. I know my Lakers drafted him, right? I do question if he's the point guard to play with Anthony Edwards. And honestly, it does, because like Reese, remember when you said, like, you sent me the video of like Anthony Edwards in the corner just kind of like chilling with his hands on his hip, just relaxing, like, and he's playing but not playing. Like, I've had that moment. That's like, I'm ready for the game to end. I hate this team, and I low-key want to slap a few of them. So it's like, if that's how he feels, maybe you need to move Cat and D'Lo in a couple of seasons. But I still want to make it work because again, this talent that you have, that's tough to come across. And it's from a timing perspective too. Like Cat and Ant should be able to switch, like interchange roles as time goes on, because like the age disparity. And then D'Lo should be third regardless.
My thing is, I would trade Rudy before I trade the Cat.
Who's gonna take Rudy though? Who's gonna take Rudy? I would do the same thing. I would do the exact same thing.
So here's my thing, right? I would trade Rudy and D'Angelo Russell for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
They're never gonna do that. They're never gonna do that.
The Thunder, but I feel like
you just made the Thunder's no, they fired her right now.
The Thunder knows that they're gonna miss the same way that the Spurs knew that they're gonna miss DeJounte Murray's prime. The Thunder know that they're gonna miss Shai's prime. So what I'm saying is,
but I think the Thunder should stay put, man. They're building some amazing. Dort has developed amazingly. Chet comes back next year. Giddy has developed amazingly.
They might get Wemby. I'm saying contenders in 5 seasons, maybe.
Yeah. You think the Thunder are competing with the Suns, Mavericks, Warriors, Lakers?
Yeah, but they're young, but they're 20, 19 years old.
You're talking about how long?
Is Jaylen Brown?
Hey, let me ask you, how far in the future are you talking about? Are you talking about next season? Like, I'm thinking for the Thunder, 3 seasons from now, they're going to start to be like a real problem for the league.
Absolutely.
Like how your Celtics kind of emerged out of nowhere.
Yep.
That's how the Thunder are going to be, especially if they get Victor Wembanyama.
They have I was about to say, I guess that's the thing for the Thunder. Like a place like that, you have to draft the talent. People aren't going to OKC. If you draft well enough, I think some talent will come your way, and you can start building a culture. Here's why I say that. Who was going to the Warriors before Steph Curry and them? No,
like they had.
But you said some talent. You didn't say generational. There's a difference. There's a difference between some talent and generational talent. Just like when nobody going out to Milwaukee, then you get Giannis. And ain't nobody still go to Milwaukee. They traded for Jrue Holiday, and then they pulled Chris Middleton out of the rough. I mean, seriously, people don't go to like small market teams. That's not a thing, bro. It has always been you have to draft, and then you trade for a big name. So that's what I'm saying.
That's fair. The small market teams do have a little. It is a little tough. They aren't as popular as the big market teams. So I do get you on that.
That's why I say the team like the Timberwolves wasted their draft capital trade on a talent like Rudy Gobert when what they needed was a talent. I'm telling y'all, they blew that. The Timberwolves blew that.
To say they blew it is a little tough. I definitely understood where they were coming from, and again, I was telling you, like Cat is the key. And I said he has to play more like Giannis for that help side defense. I need him to be more engaged. Anthony Edwards, I need him to be a little more engaged too. Like it seems like he's kind of.
I don't know. I feel like y'all. We're not being fair to Cat.
He doesn't like playing with Rudy.
I don't know. Forget Rudy. Rudy's gonna work his hard.
Just say he doesn't like playing with Cat.
But if D'Lo hasn't played terrible, but he's in a contract year, you can't bring him back on a big contract because that's gonna be a poison pill in a sense. I feel like that'll turn into a poison pill situation.
I feel like we're not giving Karl Anthony Towns enough respect for what he is doing this season. Next he's scoring 4 less points. He's averaging 3 more assists. I mean, Rudy Gobert, like the same way that Anthony Edwards.
It's on the defensive end, though. I need more.
Need him to average 3 more assists, bro.
I need Cat. I need Cat to give me more defense. I need Ant to give me more assists.
Yeah, but
that's not Anthony. That's like asking Jaylen Brown for more assists. That's not. They're a shooting guard. They are a scoring guard. Like
Kobe was a shooting guard and can give me 5 assists. How come Ant? Kobe was a shooting guard and gave me 5 assists. I'm saying
he's not there yet, though. This is his 3rd year. He's not there.
Getting rid of Cat will allow Ant to be a 27, 28 per game scorer. You can go.
Is that going to win you a championship though, Freddie?
Well, it's about building. You win as far as you're going to go with Cat, bro, as your number one guy.
You have a solid foundation right now. You got a stretch big that can also go on the block when he wants to, and you got a dynamic, athletic guard who can score and is relatively skilled. Then you just find complementary pieces like you need.
I'm out on Cat.
I feel like they should have made
for Minnesota.
I feel like they should have made Cat and Edwards get back to the playoffs themselves before trading for a third piece. That's what I feel like they should have made. You're asking them for is to play better and kind of step into that. But like just like you said that like the Celtics got a guy like Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum will become complacent. You get a guy like Rudy Gobert in there, and you're saying you want more from Cat defensively, while you just traded for a defensive player of the year. And you know what I mean? So in terms of that complacency, that's what I'm calling. I
was hoping it makes it easier on them. But I get you too, because like you use my own words against me, so I feel you.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like you force that Timberwolves team to make the playoffs again and win a series again. Then that's them telling you as a GM, like, oh, these guys are serious. That's how I would do it.
How about this? How does this sound? I don't know how it matches up as far as numbers because I haven't looked at numbers yet. Mm-hmm. So you probably got to add a couple other contracts in there. Cat traded to Toronto for, because again, expecting D'Lo is going to leave. Cat traded to Toronto for Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, and Chris Boucher, and a draft pick or two.
They don't do that. The Raptors don't do that. If anything, I'm trading Siakam.
Siakam is too good, bro.
He is really good.
Siakam's too good.
Wait. Hold on. Here's the thing, though. I'm trading Siakam then. And I'm gonna give you Fred VanVleet, and you give me D'Lo.
But hear me out though. Look, I just want to say this.
Okay.
Freddie, the trade that you came up with, right? I personally feel like the trade that Timberwolves should have made was before the Rudy trade. They should not think about what you just said. Siakam is too good. Go get Siakam. Why'd you go get Rudy Gobert? You know what I mean? Like if you want to.
Did you see this out of Siakam before he hit the floor this season? No.
Say it again.
Did you see Siakam playing this way before he hit the floor this season?
I drafted him in fantasy. Yes, I did.
So you knew he was going to be giving you damn near triple-double numbers and playing
last season. Trey, he was giving it to you at the end of the last season. He was.
He was down though, man.
I just want to let you know, your nose grew 5 to 10 inches as you were talking. Like,
I'm telling you. I'm like, what? I'm a Celtics fan. I see the Raptors 4 times. Like, I have to watch those guys.
Me too, brother.
I have to watch those guys. Siakam, that's what I'm saying, though. The Timberwolves should have gone and got a guy like Siakam over a guy like Rudy Gobert. That's how I feel.
Yeah, but you gotta get Toronto back a piece, man. You know what I'm saying? And not Rudy, but
I don't see them keeping Cat and getting Pascal in that situation with the pieces they have.
They tried to get KD. And think about what they wouldn't give up to get KD.
But
so
KD,
you're gonna have to give up Ant. You're gonna have to give up Ant.
Siakam isn't the third best player in the league.
Huh?
KD was the third best player in the league at the time of this trade.
So if you couldn't get, it was Siakam and a few other people for KD.
Giannis, Steph, KD. What? I would argue that KD's trade.
I hear you.
No, but all I'm saying is, bro, they didn't do the KD trade because of what they would have had to give up. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you weren't going to just be able to give them some draft picks and whatever to get Siakam when they wouldn't even give up certain stuff to get KD. So if you wouldn't do that stuff to get KD, you got to do something like just a Scotty and OG or some combination. I don't think they would have gave up. They wouldn't give up Scotty for KD, but it was.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess my vote is just that they could have gone and gotten somebody other than Rudy. Like, I feel like Cat.
I mean, they could have, but like they're anticipating you have Rudy to man down literally the rim. Cat can chase down everything else. Be Giannis-like. And then Anthony Edwards also is a quality defender. And then you got other people out there who can defend. And I don't even have to say anything about D'Lo. He's not a defender like that. But the boy's 6'5". You act like I can't throw him on somebody who's not really scoring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it should have all worked out. And it still can. Like, personally, I still have faith because on 2K, Rudy Gobert saved me at the end.
So let me dial it back. And I'll say, let them get a change of coaches first. And then let's see if that changes.
That's fair. I don't like their coach first. I don't even know who coach is anymore. Like, is it Finch? Is it Finch?
You know what's crazy? I don't know. I think it may still be. I don't like their coach. I don't know their coaches.
Yeah, they need a better coach. Hey, Ime, real quick. The Wolves. It sounds like they're available.
If you get Ime, you ain't got to trade nobody.
Don't trade not a damn thing. But
that's a that's a fact.
Yeah.
If you get Ime, you wouldn't have to do anything. That's a fact. Like, they should have put together. If they were willing to send away that much in terms of draft capital, you should have aimed higher than Rudy Gobert. I mean,
so they should have put that toward
Donovan Mitchell. Why give Rudy Gobert when you could have gotten Donovan Mitchell and paid?
But would that work though?
But yeah, but I don't think that works. You got Donovan Mitchell. You overvalue Donovan Mitchell. I'm just saying that.
Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Edwards. I'm saying D'Lo is traded to.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't. Matter of fact. Look, fellas.
Are similar players.
Yeah. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're gonna watch some highlights real quick, but we're gonna come back and circle back to that though, because they do fall in line with the next topic that we got on the show, which is you know what I mean? So best NBA shooting guards coming up. So let's see how that shakes. But please enjoy the highlights as we transition.
I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here.